Mars in Pisces is not the best placement for Mars because Mars is about aggression. In traditional astrology, Mars is considered, I would say, a bit more destructive than the way it's perceived in modern astrology. It rules Aries and Scorpio. Pisces Mars is a difficult placement because Mars is not in the best position at Pisces. Pisces is about love. Let's all get along. We're all one. The Pisces journey is how do I prioritize myself in my life while also seeing others as being equal to me? Because what Pisces understands is that I am you and you are me. And I know for a lot of people, that's a difficult concept, especially here in the West and in this capitalistic society that we live in. People like to think that they are living in isolation to everyone else. At least that's how most people here in America are raised. Dog eat dog world, everybody's on their own, survival of the fittest, all of that kind of energy. But what Pisces knows is that when you spiritually mature, regardless of what society you live in, whether it's America ruled by capitalism or whether you live in communist China, what Pisces understands is that we all came from love. God is love, and that is one entity. That's one vibration. God is one. Okay. I know there are lots of world religions, but God is one. Okay. And interestingly, there is no need to actually be a part of a religion to be able to experience love. Like you can experience love in your garden, you can experience love in a classroom, you can experience love in a hospital. You can experience love in a temple. You can experience love in a church, in your bedroom, in the shower. Love can be experienced anywhere by anyone. Even plants experience love. Animals experience love. So what Pisces knows is that all of us came from love. Therefore, all of us are one. All of us are made of love, from love, and for love. So Pisces treats you how they want you to treat them. So generally, by default, Pisces is going to be more empathetic, more compassionate, more disassociated from the physical realm, more married to the spiritual realm, more invested in the good of the collective, more interested in taking action that benefits all of us, not just themselves and their selfish desires. So for Pisces, love is definitely a religion. It's in everything that they do. It's in the way they look at the world. It's in the way they behave. This is also why Pisces sometimes can be overly um, forgiving of others that are harming them or that are predatory towards them, because Pisces does not want to acknowledge that on the other side of love is a lack of love. People say, that hatred is the opposite of love. No, that's not true. The opposite of love is actually a complete lack of care. The individuals that we consider psychopathic, I'm going to go back in the science lane for a minute. When we consider someone to be a psychopath, in the world of mental health, what are we describing? What is a psychopath? Can you guys chime in? I want to hear what you guys think. What is a psychopath? When you think of a psychopath, what is the first personality trait that pops up for you that makes you go, yeah, this person is definitely very sick? This person is definitely psychopathic. This person is unhealthy. This type of diagnosis or behavior is not somebody that I want to associate myself with. Exactly. You got it, Sir Goof. The answer is a lack of empathy and emotion. A lack of empathy and emotion. They grin, yes, because they enjoy watching people suffer. There's something about psychopathic personalities. You can sometimes recognize a psychopath in the way they smile. It's never like a genuine smile from their heart. Like healthy people when they smile, like when I'm smiling, my eyes smile. Look at that. There's nothing funny. I'm just thinking of something funny just to illustrate. So I'm smiling because I'm thinking of something funny. Look at my eyes and then look at my teeth. And you can see these two match because my vibration is healthy. So when I'm smiling and I'm laughing, it comes from my heart, my soul. And I say the eyes are the windows to the soul. But when psychopaths are laughing or they're smiling, the movements are there, but the eyes have no life in them. Or in the eyes, there's terror. You can actually see it. And Mind you, I have a background in mental health. Again, I started working in mental health in 2005. One of the very first work experience that I've ever had in mental health was working in a domestic violence shelter. So I got an opportunity to work with, abusers, guys who beat their wives and their spouses, domestic violence, and, victims of violence, physical violence, sexual abuse, that sort of thing. So those types of personalities, I'm very familiar with them, and I can spot them just by looking at them. Okay, in their eyes, I can spot them. Now, I say all of that to say abusers lack empathy. That's exactly what in science we diagnose as being, unhealthy. We call that psychopathic behavior. We say narcissists are destructive because they lack empathy. To a narcissist, all that matters is winning. They don't care what they have to do to win. They don't care whose life they have to destroy to get to winning. That's it. That's all they care about. So when a person hates you, they're still giving you energy. But when a person doesn't love you, they give you no life. Love is life. When there's no love on earth, there's no life on earth. And that is why the world is in the condition that it's in now, is because the humans have gotten so accustomed to treating one another as if they were separated beings, meaning that, I get on my high horse and I start thinking that I'm so much better than you and that you don't deserve, the love that I want for myself. You don't deserve anything nice. You don't deserve to be treated with respect, with kindness, with compassion. So then I treat you really poorly because I am unaware of the fact that how I treat you is not only a reflection of my own energy, but it also vibrates through the universe because now that I have given you this negativity, you're going to take that to somebody else. And that's how the world is created because what goes around comes around, right? Are you with me? So Pisces gets all of that. Pisces understands that in the same way that human life is recycled, when we die, we get buried in the ground, we decompose in the ground, and the nutrients that were left in our flesh get eaten by the worms and the bugs that are in the ground. And then eventually our body is a part of the ground, right? And then that those same nutrients that are now in the ground are going to feed trees that are going to grow and that are going to bear fruit. Are you with me? Blood on the leaves. That's what it's about. It's about the recycle of life. They don't have time for activities that do not nourish their soul because literally all Pisces wants is love. And when you bring Pisces anything other than love, they literally glitch. They don't know what to do with that. Because more than any other zodiac sign, they understand so clearly that the point of our entire existence on earth is for us to love ourselves deeply. And we do that by honoring our standards. And that's why Pisces women are very expensive to keep because they know what they deserve. They know what they deserve. You know that sprinkle lady that's teaching women to like own their people. Sometimes people don't understand like what people are doing, but what this woman is actually doing is getting women to wake up to the game that men have been playing with them since the beginning of time. And she's trying to empower women to take responsibility for their financial well-being. But a lot of people are missing the whole point. But that lady's a Pisces. Because a Pisces woman knows what she deserves, and she knows she deserves luxury. She knows she deserves high class experiences. She knows she does not deserve stress. She doesn't want to suffer. She doesn't want stress. She doesn't want drama. She doesn't want negativity. Pisces just wants ease. Simple. Okay? Just give her the easy life. That's what she signed up for. She's a 90-year-old woman. What do you want her to do? She just wants to be left alone to enjoy whatever joy is left in her heart. So when unfortunately Pisces has to meet a lot of people who, first of all, don't operate that way, don't think that way, who are very predatory and selfish and manipulative and narcissistic in nature, Pisces, although they recognize immediately that this person is cold because they have this deep feeling of connectedness to everything, they can't immediately reject that energy. So they allow those energies to fester around them, and inadvertently, these energies create problems in their lives. And then they have to take a stand because it gets to be too much. And Virgos are very abusive towards Pisces, very abusive towards Pisces, because Virgos live in their head. They don't even live in their hearts. Okay? A Virgo is extremely disconnected from their emotion. It's all about the facts. And Pisces is extremely disconnected from the physical realm, and it's all about the emotions. So Pisces can always tell when the person is no good, but unfortunately, because of their compassion, their sensitivity, and their depth of emotion, and because they understand this person is a part of humanity like them, it's hard for them to set that boundary and push that person out of the circle. So inadvertently, an unhealthy Pisces becomes a magnet to narcissists. Narcissists who don't want to heal, that don't want to improve, they actually want to continue to use Pisces for all of their love, all of their sensitivity, all of their compassion, while giving Pisces nothing good in return. Again, the opposite of love is not hatred, it's a lack of love. So I'm going to take all your love and I'm going to give you nothing. So when Pisces back is finally backed up against the wall and they have to stand up for themselves, what always ends up happening is that they overreact because they never react when they're supposed to. They allow the discomfort to keep mounting and mounting and mounting, and the disrespect, oh my god, the disrespect, the way people disrespect Pisces women. It is insane, especially in relationships, the way men disrespect Pisces women. You would not believe some of the stories that I've heard. You wouldn't believe it. It's awful because Pisces is too old to fight back. It's elder abuse. That's what it is. It's elder abuse. Okay? It's elder abuse. They know it's wrong and they do it anyways because they know Pisces is not going to give it back. Because Pisces Mars is not a strong placement. Because Pisces functions best in love, not in war. War is about blood, it's about gore, it's about guts, it's about aggression, it's about death, it's about a lack of sensitivity. Men go to war and they don't just go to war to kill the opponent. They also go to war and they sexually assault the women and their children. These are some of the, unfortunately, some of the aspects that come along with war. There's a lot of violence there. And that's the kind of violence that Pisces intuition can't stomach. So for Pisces, it's easier to disconnect from the physical realm and disappear into the magical land where humans are a lot kinder, the world is a lot softer, everybody's a lot nicer, and everything is love. My best advice to Pisces Mars is to get into the arts, to get into any sort of creativity, to have a ritual with their spirituality so they can get deeply connected to the divinity, because honestly, God is your only protection in this world, and to get used to communicating their feelings at the first sign of discomfort. So the minute something in your relationship glitches, I need you to open up your throat chakra and say, huh, so I did this, then you did that, and that made me feel this way. I want to talk about that. What was that about? What did you mean by that? Is that uncomfortable? Yes, very uncomfortable for Pisces. But that is what is required for their soul to evolve. Because here's the bottom line: you can't love other people more than you love yourself, because that's always an indication that you do not love yourself. People who love themselves don't let people treat them any kind of way. They don't. They have standards. Because fundamentally, self love is about self preservation. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Self love is about self preservation. Love is life. Love is how we got here. Two people loved each other and did something and brought us here. Love is the meaning of life. It's the purpose of life. It's the only reason for our entire existence. You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo for all of your astrology content. Thanks so much for watching.